This is the Impact Dynamics podcast.
I'm Plushy.
And my name is Rusty.
We talk about freestyle PRS shooting.
We do in this episode. And we continue on about the APRS Roaring Forties Shootout.
Boom.
Let's go.
Smash director, mate. Smash director.
Hello, Andy.
Hooray!
Hooray.
Hope that's enough.
We need your vote.
Now we've caught up to where we are on the podcast.
All right, go on back.
Roll the outro. Roll the outro.
Wait for it. There we go.
There we go. No, sorry. Hello, everyone. Hello, Josh.
I'm here.
You are
Still.
Plushy.
Hey, buddy. How you going? Hey, Josh.
You haven't gone anywhere. We're still talking about the APRS Roaring Forties Shootout because we baffled on about lots of other waffled. That's the word. Can't even say. There's baffles up there.
Yeah,
That's
we
what it's
baffled
called.
into the baffles.
We baffled into the waffles.
Bit of everything.
Yeah, that's right. Back to Mildura with the baffles. We waffled on about other things and only got through part of the match.
That's right.
So we thought we'd spend
It was a big match.
It was a big match. It was a big match.
It was a very big match.
It was a challenge getting there. All the things. So we thought we'd come back and do day two because for those who are watching at home or didn't see the last episode, go back and watch it. There's more. Give it a lot of context to this one.
The start of the match is explained.
Yeah, so we won't be jumping partway through. But plus you won. There we go. Give away the ending. There you go. So you can probably turn it off now.
Does that mean I can go home?
You can go home.
No, cool.
We're doing much here anyway.
I was never here.
So, we talked about the first half of the match and the lead up to it and the dramas we had trying to get to Tasmania. But you can go listen to sort of part one on that one. We're going to start off with some roofies. Which is the name of the stage, not what's in your beer. Although I did get you the beer, so stay tuned. Find out if I put roofies in Plushy's beer. Yeah. Roofies. Do you want to? I don't know if you want to talk about that particular stage, but day two. You got up early. You had a shower. You did other things we don't have to talk about, and then you got to the match.
We did. We got there early. I reckon we were there at 6:30, 6:45, something like that.
Wow, we got there later on the second day.
Yeah. Well, we got there and we're like, there's 3 or 4 other people there and 3 or 4 other people rocked up in about 10 minutes and then there was a gap. And nobody came for like 45 minutes.
We got there pretty early on the Saturday because it was like if there's problems to tell them to fix it and stuff. And then on like Sunday, we're like, well, we fixed all the things that we needed to, so we'll get there at 7:30, time for the briefing, and the briefing didn't start till 7:45 or something. So. Yeah. Yep.
I think so. Yes, we stood around. We're like, well, you can tell who the morning people are. We found coffee on Sunday. Oh, we had to turn the urn on. That was like because there's country Tasmania. Country Tasmania was 30 minutes from Hobart, but that's country Tasmania.
Hobart's country Tasmania.
Yeah, that's right. So we're like, oh, we'll get up. We'll go get a coffee somewhere in town. No cafes open.
Yeah.
I didn't see too many on the runs between the hotel and the range. We're like, ooh, this is bad.
Yep. Okay.
We got there and we're like, ooh, there's an urn.
Yep.
We searched every drawer and we're like, ooh, coffee, sugar. We found some milk. We're like, we're done. So we put on the urn for everybody and had a coffee and did that stuff and settled into it.
Okay. Good.
We got re-squadded.
Oh yeah, yes. This was a thing.
We had 4 squads on day 1. And
4 squads of 8.
Yeah, and then down to 3 squads on
of 10-ish.
Day 2, something like that. Yeah. And we got put in the super squad.
Okay, so the squadding, something that George wanted to do as the match director, and was to take the top 6 or 7 and grab the bottom 6 or 7 or however many, work it out. The 2 ends of the spectrum of where things had finished up on day 1, and put them in the same squad. Because, and let me clarify this before, we've done it in the US. It happens a lot, and we did it at the finale in 2019, and the finale makes a bit more sense to do it. But you basically grab your top 10 and put them in a squad, right? Because it's where the fight is happening. And on day 2, it sounds interesting, and they do this a lot. Are we getting dings? Am I hearing dings?
I'm hearing dings.
Yeah,
I don't know where they're coming from. Though.
Okay,
it's not me.
Is it you, Plushy? Are you a phone dinging?
It's not me.
No.
It's your glass.
Oh, it's my glass.
It's the ice in your glass.
Oh, that's right, because this glass is one of those like glasses where you never quite know what's going to – you're living on the edge with it. That was really weird.
Yeah, I'll hear it again. Yeah.
I've just looked at like everything going.
What
I swear I had everything muted. I did.
Phones turned off. Yeah, anyway. Okay, cool.
I thought he went straight to my phone like this guy. Yeah,
well,
it's his fault.
Because yours made noise before. That's why I
don't remember that.
Yeah,
no, it's on silent.
In episode 1, it made noise.
I don't remember that.
I do. So It's on silent. Let me just put it on silent. I've forgotten what we're talking about.
We talked about super squads.
Super squads.
Yeah.
Right. So one of the pieces of feedback, and particularly for like not the finale, was that, often you're squatting, you'll put your top 10 in one squad and then 11 through to 20 in one squad and that sort of thing. And for the finale, I get it. Makes lots of good sense. It's, like these are the guys who are sort of in their brackets competing against each other. But one of the downsides is that this is now annoying me.
It is. Drink it.
This is now one of the things is that one of the great things about going to a PRS match is there's every chance there's going to be one of the top 5 or 10 shooters in your squad, probably top 5 shooters in your squad, or if not a couple. And so if you're new to it or you're learning your way through, you get the chance to watch Plushy or Lucas or Ash or any of the guys that are in that make that mix up to see how they go about things, how they do that. They might give you some feedback on stuff. Yep. And I had a lot of I had one little shout out to yourself and many of the other sort of top 10 shooters. A lot of the Tasmanian guys or new guys were saying that you guys were very approachable and they were getting feedback from, one guy came and was like, Ash was helping me with my shooting. That's amazing. Like, he's a nice down-to-earth guy. He'll tell you his thoughts or whatever it is. And so that you almost don't want to deprive people of that opportunity to sort of have that. And so I think Crispy did a good balance there where he put the guys who were doing really, really well with the guys that are probably a first time out or struggling a bit, so they can really have it modelled for them of what to do and get good advice. I
think one of the risks with super squads, is that if you put all the top guys together, they all feed off each other, and then it's legitimate. And then the win calls get better, and the breakdown of the stages, and the how to work around issues and stuff like that. They
push each other hard.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And you'll find that those guys will tend to gap the field.
Yes.
And then if you get a shooter that perhaps was deserving to be in that field but didn't make it this time,
by a point or two or whatever it might be,
or just because there was 10 people in that squad and they would have been in there but they were the 11th or whatever, they get left behind as well. So it can be a bit of an unfair advantage too. Yeah. So it's another way of looking at it. I was a bit nervous actually getting that. I was like, super squad, because I'd much rather be off in my own little corner doing my own little thing and not worrying about everybody else and all that sort of stuff. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to get away from this today. No. This is going to
surrounded by it.
Yeah, it's going to put a little bit of extra pressure on.
And there's a couple of things in there I want to unpack, but and then there was a sort of a mid like another squad which was the same thing. There's sort of another top 5 or 6 shooters with another the sort of next tier up, and then there was like a middle sort of crew. Yeah. And it's just, these are the things the match directors can choose to do. And it's interesting. You take the feedback, you see how it was. It seemed like it was well played out. It seemed it was well thought
absolutely.
Through. It was a good mix.
Yeah. The one thing I liked about our squad was I could spend time on glass. And I didn't have to, often enough, if there's only, we often have 14, 15 people in a squad. And there'll be, 2 or 3 really good shooters in that squad. And you kind of got to manage your time if you want to watch those guys shoot.
Okay.
So you can watch, do
you need a mirror or something? Is that you have to set the mirror up?
Well, no, I've got to watch the other people as well. Yeah.
Bring one of them to the next match.
Just a massive mirror. I just need to see the top shooters shoot. Here we are.
Yeah, that's where I get my information, like win calls and things like that.
From the mirror?
From the mirror, yeah, from the mirror.
It is interesting because, a video that will be out by now on our channel is I went around the weekend asking just all PRS shooters of just general tips, advice, all those bits and pieces. Probably one of the biggest pieces of advice that came up was, 1, bring a rifle. Doesn't matter what rifle. bring a rifle. I
can see how that
works. Shoot whatever.
Genius. I hope that's in the video.
It is. But the next one was...
we put out such great content.
The top guys that you see there, watch them, watch what they do, and do that. Don't try and do all anything fancy just to prove you're different. Just see what they do, copy, and if that works for you, just copy and do that.
Do that, but better.
Yeah.
That's right.
Cool.
And bring a rifle.
So what you're saying, Josh, is everyone's going to start bringing a mirror to a match.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to make for some great memes. Yeah. So I'm all down about that one.
We could probably get like a tripod-mounted mirror that hangs underneath the tripod, and you just put your tripod in there.
No. What about if you shoot in a kilt?
In a kilt. All right. That was last episode. Right. Anyway, I have no idea where we're up to in this discussion.
No, so it was
surely we're up to Sunday morning.
Oh, Sunday morning. You got re-squatted.
Yes,
Okay, I
squad.
think we've flogged that.
We've
whole-
flogged the super squad to death.
I'm going to quickly jump in though, because even adding 2 people to the squad made the day so different for me in terms of filming everyone.
Yeah, you completely missed me most of Sunday. It was great.
Oh no, you got Angry Plushy. AngryPlushy.com
No,
as well
I
if you
think
want to
that
order
was on
prints.
Saturday.
Angry
That was Saturday night,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's Saturday.
Yeah.
That's
But
Saturday.
still,
That's what I'm saying. It's
Angry Plushy, get on
you,
it.
You said you missed him completely on Saturday. No, that's where AngryPlushy.com came from.
No. He got me on Saturday. He didn't
Yeah.
get me much on Sunday.
No, I did still get you on Sunday. Don't you
you?
worry.
Oh, well, I didn't have a camera
Don't
in my
you
face
worry. There's
anyway.
footage there.
That was mediocre Plushy.com. Oh, now I'm going to have to register that one. Okay, cool. Now, one comment I want to make, or ask you about doing, because now you're with the 6 or 7 other top shooters in the match. Now, there's the guys who are doing in the match. There's
Timmy.
plus
Timmy. Yeah, I don't.
and
Now I know how he got there. I wondered how he got in the squad.
because he was
Bottom
borrowing
3.
your gear.
No. Oh.
Whatever.
Damn it. Sorry, Tim.
Okay, right. No, what I wanted to ask you about is that you're in the mix with all the top shooters. Now, I'll clarify, the top shooters from the Saturday, not necessarily the top
not from the
shooters,
season.
because there's
Yeah.
some guys who were perhaps further down that
Yep.
you know, are very, very good shooters. So not to take away from that. But from the Saturday, you're in with the best shooters from Saturday. And you are people have different nuances. And some guys track all the numbers. And some guys want to know nothing about numbers at all. You barely count. You're in the barely count category, as far as I'm aware.
I can't even add my own numbers up right most of the time.
But I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, where some people get real fulfillment out of sort of they know where every other shooter's up to. They run their spreadsheets on their phone, I guess, or they just keep it in their head or whatever it might be. But they can tell you've got 2 shots here to make up, or you've got whatever it is. How does that play out for you, Plushy?
I find like club match a bit different. At a club match, we tend to keep a fair eye on who's going where and stuff. But it doesn't matter as much. You're having a lot more fun, and it's if you throw the match, well, whatever. There's another one next month. It doesn't matter or something like that.
Gotcha.
But
The stakes are not so high.
yeah, that's right. But I need to focus on me when I'm doing that.
You do you, girl.
Yeah, that's right. I do me very well and often.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't get involved in. I try to stay away from the discussion, like not even conflict, like the arguments and stuff, like over point scoring, and when there's like discrepancies in stages or whatever. And I might just stand there and sort of in the background and get a bit of an ear of what's going on, but I don't get involved in the conversation if I can keep out of it. Like all I think about is what am I doing for my next stage?
Yep.
Visualizing the targets, what's my holdover, what's my win calls, or watching what's the wind doing right now, and just try and get an idea of what's going on. Where are people missing? Watching downrange, is everyone dropping off to the left? Well, it probably means the wind's a bit stronger from the right than you think it is. That sort of stuff. I just try to next shot sort of focus. If I get into the result, I start thinking, oh, that guy's 3 points up on me. I can't afford to drop 3 points on this stage, and next thing I've dropped 6 on this stage because I'm too busy thinking. I'm too busy. You drop 1 shot, you're like, oh, I can only drop 2 more shots on this stage, and then I'm.
Guess what you do next?
Yep,
Drop 2 more shots.
Yeah, I need to just focus on the next shot.
Yeah,
is my approach, which I've always known is how I have to do it. But it was easy. I had an event earlier this year where I probably went pretty well on the first day.
Delve into that. Mildura, you didn't drop a shot on Saturday? Is that?
No, so I cleaned there was 8 stages. I cleaned the first 7 stages.
Wow.
And then dropped 2 or 3 points on the last stage. I can't remember. I think it was 2 points on the last stage.
And you finished up first for the day?
Yes, for the day by a decent margin.
This is the contrasting sort of match where you did extremely well, and everyone was like, "Wow, what? Yeah, like how did you play Sunday out there, and then what changed at this one?"
Yeah, so the Sunday at Mildura, that was probably the best single day shooting I've ever had.
Sunday?
Yeah, no, not the Sunday.
I was going to say the
Saturday. Yeah,
Saturday. Yeah,
the Saturday. I
to clean 7 stages and then drop a few points on one.
Yes,
and then finish with a clear margin.
I can't remember. It was 4 or 5 points or something, whatever it was. I can't remember. And then there was 60 odd. There was 60 odd shooters at that match. I can't remember exactly. And individually, nearly every one of the 60 shooters came up to me and said, "You shot awesome yesterday, dude. You could probably win today." And they were just being genuinely nice. There was nothing. There was no ill feeling. There was nothing.
No. Unlike
But-
my comment on Saturday at
Yes.
the APRS Roaring Forties match, where you come up to the thing, you're doing pretty well, and as you've walked out of the club rooms, I've said, "You win, Plushy, good job," and you have given me the ultimate death stare of like, "I want you dead right now."
Yeah.
I
was
recall that
plotting it.
being a death stare for about 0.5 seconds before Plushy looked away and gave multiple fingers.
No, I believe it was a singular finger, multiple animations of the singular finger. Anyway, sorry, carry back
yeah,
to
so-
people actually being nice to you.
Genuinely, I'm not used to it, so that's what really shocked me. No, everyone was just being really genuine. Like, you've done really well, dude. Like, keep it up. You could win. And then my mind drifted from what am I doing next to
Yes.
how good would it be to win a match?
Yeah,
Like it's something I wanted for a long time. Been working towards, and I was like, maybe today's my day.
Yep.
I bombed like badly. I think I finished 4th or something like that.
You did.
I completely
You did.
sucked all of the stages.
Yeah. You just dropped off the podium.
Yeah.
Just enough.
So I sort of said to myself, I'm never doing that again.
Okay.
Never ever. And this was a perfect match in the sense that 2/3 of the points were done and dusted on day one.
Mm-hmm.
So I did have I had a moment to think to myself, I actually didn't think I'd be pretty happy to hang on to 3rd place here.
Okay.
If I was going to set myself
Well,
a
I guess
goal for
that's it.
Sunday.
You're not number one on the Saturday night break.
Yep.
You're at number 3,
Mhm.
and so you've got everything to lose, but you haven't got nothing
Different.
to gain.
Yeah, that's right.
You've got the ability to go up or down.
Yep.
But you're not at when you're at the top. Not that I would never know. Don't actually matches that well. The top you can only either maintain or drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The common, a lot of PRS matches are about the same. 2/3 points on the first day, 1/3, give or take, second day.
Yep.
So you kind of, the chat amongst a lot of the guys is you win the match on Saturday. Well, you make your points on Saturday and you hold on Sunday. It's generally difficult to make up places on a Sunday.
Yeah.
The hard work is done on the Saturday. But the Mildura match, I think there was as many points on Sunday as there was on the Saturday.
Yeah, I certainly. So that was one I was heavily involved with running, and I always try and make the Sunday as close to as many points as, and it might be like 70 points on day 1, 60 points or 65 points on day 2, pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close. But this one was a lot more on Saturday than it was on.
Yeah. So after Mildura, there's a couple of within the SA, sort of the SA guys that shoot a lot of PRS matches, there's some very different attitudes towards tracking how each other are going and that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a chat amongst ourselves afterwards because there's some other people that feel the same way as me. And we said, right, hands up in the air, don't talk to me about results, please. Don't talk to me about match progress, any of those things. Like if you come up and ask me how I'm going and I say good, like
Leave it at that.
Leave it at that. If I want to tell you how I'm going, I'll tell you. If I don't, I won't.
Okay.
And after that little conversation, everybody was super duper respectful.
Yeah, that's
they
awesome.
were good. No one tried to come up and I said to Tim that I was traveling to the match with. I said, if anybody tries to get in my ear about how I'm going on Sunday, I'm going to punch him in the dick. And he's like, I believe you.
I'm disappointed I missed out on content now.
I'm going to go up to him next time.
Yeah.
So it was good. I think now that I've done one, it'll be a lot easier. And if
I know you're just going to smash it all the time
basically, yeah. Basically.
with your big mirror.
Quote that bit there.
So
Yeah, I think it was good to get, especially after dropping that Mildura, it was good to get it out of the way.
okay, so and then in Tassie, you guys didn't talk to you about your results and how you're faring.
No. So
That's awesome.
it got all the way to stage 18.
Yeah, which is the last stage. We'll go through a stage or two in a moment.
Yeah. And I shot my last stage and I did particularly well on the last stage. I put my rifle down and one of the guys walked up to me and he's like, I think you might have just got up there, man.
Yeah.
I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, what, 3rd place or what do you? He's like,
Yeah, retained what you had.
yeah. And he's like, no, the whole thing. I was like,
Yeah, at that point, it doesn't matter what they'd say to you, throw you
it's like-
mentally because you can't change anything. At that point.
yeah. So I'd finished shooting and I'm like, what do you mean? And he's pulled out his little book of notes and he had everybody's tracking his scores and their stage scores through the day. And he's like, well, the guy that's about to shoot next would have to clean the stage to tie with you. That doesn't seem very likely, given how everyone else, how everyone else has been going on that
Sure.
stage.
Sure.
He's like, so pay attention and then miss the first shot. I'm like, oh,
Oh, we might be on here.
yeah. And I was like, you better not have this wrong. Don't I've got no idea. I was like,
Putting the faith.
how confident are you?
That was Guy, wasn't it?
It was actually Anthony Colley, but
okay.
him and Guy had been tracking
I
scores.
believe between those two, they're the human spreadsheets.
Yes.
From what I understand.
But not only did they know exactly where I was in the match, they also reliably informed me where I'd sit in the overall series standings and this, that, and the other. I was like, okay, these guys seem onto it.
Yeah, they're all over it. No, very good. Oh, well, it's good that we've broken to the end of how Sunday went. We did allude in the last podcast that we're going to talk about the actual important match that went down on Monday.
Yes,
we'll get to that though. But was there any stages from the 6 on Sunday that stood out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. The last
shout out to
stage-
Crispy for being the match director.
Yeah.
For we just to reiterate that for the APRS Roaring Forties Shootout. Crispy did a great job. Very interesting, challenging course of fire, quite tough, and also to the entire team down there, Kev Thomas and the crew that put the whole match on, which was very smooth, which we talked about in the other episode. But,
Yeah, fantastic job, guys. Thank you.
Certainly shout that out. Sorry, carry on.
No, I think that
I was thinking
there
that
was-
Andy probably should pitch in on that.
He should.
we did have a
Thanks, Andy.
There you
we,
go,
we did have a spinner that nobody spun because it was really heavy and too far away.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and we all run 6 mils now, not 6.5s.
Everyone's
I do remember Crispy giving some shooters some flack over that one
Yeah,
throughout the weekend.
I had a go.
Is this Crispy also shoots a 6 mil?
Yeah,
Probably, yeah.
yeah. The worst of the 6 mils.
Well done, Crispy.
I had a shot at that after the match. I had 13 rounds to burn, and I shot it quick, and I couldn't get it to spin. I got about 3/4 of the way around. Although I'm certainly no expert at shooting spinners. I couldn't hit it top and bottom back to back to back too many times. The last stage of the weekend was not just because I shot it well. It didn't seem that hard, but it was extremely difficult.
Okay.
So it was a long range stage. So 105 seconds, 9 rounds, unlimited equipment. And the targets were a 58 centimetre, 46 centimetre, and 30 centimetre at 800 metres, so a small KYL rack. And you had 3 firing positions: off the back of the ute, over the sideboard, off of a box like a toolbox in the back, and then off of the top of the ute, essentially. And you just had to hit them largest to smallest, and people were getting 1s and 2s and 3s and 1s and nones, and it was a tough little stage. The wind was doing some funky stuff, some really funky stuff. It was blowing from the right, it was blowing from the left, and it was really, really challenging. You couldn't see your misses. You couldn't tell where on the plate you were hitting. It was a really tough stage, and I spent pretty much the entire lead up to that stage, me shooting that stage on binoculars, picking apart what the wind was doing.
Okay.
I sort of put my long range or F-class hat on.
Hat.
I put my F-class hat on, and I watched, and I actually backed my parallax off to about 600 meters ish, and I watched the mirage. And I watched the mirage go left, I watched the mirage go right, and I could see the trees in the back. And I'm like, I've got this. And it come down to my turn, and the mirage went on the boil, which is no wind, or straight down the range, essentially. So I sent one in the middle. I was like, "Oop, that's on." And then the next 6 shots probably came down in about 10 seconds. I was like, the mirage kept running. I'm like, I'm going to shoot on this condition as quickly as I can.
That's a bit of an F-class technique, isn't it? It's like when the wind is good, send it fast.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
absolutely. And I actually saw I drifted a little bit left. The wind picked up on my very last, or the second last shot, and I'm like, I might have pulled that a little bit, and then I dropped the last shot, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I managed to pick up an 8 out of 9, which was a particularly good score on that stage.
Yeah. Okay.
That was the difference for me. But it didn't seem like a tough stage, but it was very tough.
Interesting. The good stages when they read easy. I can follow this. I can understand what I'm going to do. All those things. I'm not going to get lost in the complication of the stage.
Yep.
And you miss because of reasons. Yeah,
Absolutely.
okay.
Yeah, there's
Very
another good one. Snakes and ladders. That was a pretty interesting one.
One more. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
Before we get into the real competition.
10 rounds, unlimited equipment. There was a target at 476 meters. 25 centimetre, and 552 metres, 30 centimetres. So there was a farm gate with about 10 rungs. You had to use 5 of them. This one you started on almost prone, essentially modified prone. And on the start signal, the shooter moves to the lowest rung in the cattle gate and engages the 475 metre target. So once you've had 2 consecutive impacts, the shooter must move up a level on the cattle gate. However, if you miss a shot, you have to move down a level. And then once the 475 meter plate is impacted 5 times, move to the 550 meter plate. So there was a lot going on. So if you shot it clean, pretty straightforward. You move your gun 4 times up and just keep going. And then on the middle rung, you shoot one distance and then you go to the second distance, and it wasn't too bad. But if you dropped one, then you'd have to go down. But we were on an odd number or an even number of the targets, and then you had to get 2 consecutive. To move up, so you'd end up, and then it was confusing. It was confusing. So the easiest thing to do was just clean it, and then it was fine.
Simple, Josh.
Yeah.
Simple. Just
It
do
was
that.
simple.
Just clean things.
Just clean things.
That's what I haven't been doing.
It was a
Right.
bit of a contentious stage, that one. Couple of people got interrupted and mid-stage got told to do the wrong things. So there was maybe an RO called an impact that wasn't an impact. Or they didn't call an impact, it was an impact, and there was a direct effect on what had to happen in the stage. There was lots of discussion on that stage.
Speaking of cleaning things, Josh, we have a sponsor of this podcast.
Oh, we do.
And one of I don't have it here, but you guys know that we're sponsored by the Bearded Chap, and we like the Bearded Chap, and Luke is the Bearded Chap.
I have a photo that we can chuck in here.
Oh yeah, here it is. There
Right
you
there.
go. And Luke is the Bearded Chap, and the Bearded Chap make all sorts of beard oils and bits and pieces. We talked about all of these things before. I'm sure you guys are aware of it. You can go to thebeardedchap.com/impact, and that will get you some amazing gear.
The
And
link is up
also-
on the screen right now.
It certainly is. Look at
Right
that.
there for you.
There it is. Look at that.
Perfect.
You like that plushie? It's over there now.
Oh, yeah.
It's on
there
you,
it
right
is.
there. Yeah, wherever you point your finger,
That's
it
where-
will go.
There, it's even with Josh.
See?
He's flying around the place.
Right here.
But the reason I bring Josh into it, Josh, you were going to talk about it in the last episode. You got so keen.
I was.
But I don't have it here. But do you know why I don't have the thing I'm going to talk about here?
Because it should not live here. If you're applying it in a podcast room,
Yeah.
not the situation to do it in.
That's a very unusual podcast. Although
Yeah.
I might watch it. But anyway, you talk about it because you
I will. It
talked
has
about
become my post PRS habit now.
Oh really?
It is the
so it's
Bearded
PRS
Chap.
related.
It is.
PRS related.
It
Okay,
is.
here we go.
It is the Bearded Chap coffee scrub.
Right.
And it is amazing.
Okay, tell us
So
more.
just,
Not too much, but tell us more.
I mean, I've got video, but
No,
we
that's-
might get banned everywhere.
That's the too much bit.
Okay,
Yeah, just tell us what it is.
It is, well, it is like it sounds. It's coffee and it's a scrub. It's coffee filled with all their good, natural oils and bits and pieces.
And then you scrub it.
And you just grab it and
Where
scrub
do you
it
scrub it,
when you're in
Josh?
the shower.
In the shower,
All
okay.
nice and moist and everything. I love how people love that word. It's great.
Yeah, the
But
moist word. Is
you
that the
grab
word
it
you
and
love?
you just scrub it all over your body
Yep.
and then
While
wash
you're
it
moist,
off
while
and
you're
then
moist.
you get out of the shower and you
He's a-
feel
he's-
amazing.
He's avoiding the word.
Does it taste good?
What's that, moist?
Yeah.
I'm not avoiding moist. I will say that as many times as I can.
All right, let's go for it. Ready?
So,
set.
while you're
moist. All right, so you can go
You
to the
are
beard-
welcome, internet.
you can go to thebeardedchap.com/moist. I mean, /impact. And
Moist impact.
That will, just /impact. Or you can use the code impact. Plushy
Whichever code is on the screen, that's the right one.
Plushy doesn't know where to look now.
I've got images that I can't get rid of.
So, but
I'll send you stuff later. It's fine.
the reason I don't have send it to him now. We want the reaction. The reason I don't have it here is because again, it's in my shower and it is really good. It smells like coffee because it's made from coffee, legit made from coffee. It smells amazing, and you're right, it is very
It
good.
does. It
So
makes you feel super clean.
if you buy that from thebeardedchap.com/impact, you will be supporting the show. You'll be supporting the Bearded Chap, who are legends, and you'll also be getting some amazing products yourself, which you will also enjoy doing post PRS, pre PRS, and during PRS. And it might, not entirely sure about this, bit of an asterisk right here. It might help you win a match. Might.
I'm going to go and try and pour some coffee scrub on someone while they're shooting now. I'm
That
curious.
sounds like a wonderful way to help them.
You could use it to
What are
clean
you
your
doing
gun.
at finale, Plushy?
Steering clear of you in the shower.
Speaking of steering clear of Josh in the showers, do you want to talk about roofies? Is that why we're on there?
No, I just happened to land on that page.
Happened to there was one stage called roofies.
Yes,
So
correct, there
You were
was.
shooting off a
I
rooftop.
am curious though. Which was which was the better stage, or which was your favorite stage? Shooting off of the car or the quad? Because they were both very interesting stages.
They were both good stages. That's a good one. No, I think the car was harder because of the distance. The quad had some smaller targets at 300 meters.
Okay.
little bit of a tricky sequence, and not a lot of feedback. Much like the rest of the match, to be honest.
Was there any feedback the whole weekend?
Only when Plushy came up to see me and I'd tell him he'd win the match.
Yeah. After that, every time I walked into the club rooms, I turned my hearing protection off. You're like talking to me, I'm like, can't hear, dude, can't hear.
I was giving him compliments and saying
Smart.
he was a nice bloke and all these things I wouldn't normally say. But
Basically.
Yeah. he
Actually,
couldn't
the
hear me.
worst bit was after you'd done the scores, you refused to make eye contact with me for the next 45 minutes to an hour. Flat out refused. And I was like, oh, has there been a mistake?
I didn't want to disappoint you. Very good. So look, we wrapped up the match. It was a great match. Well done to APRS for sponsoring it, and the Precision Rifle Tasmania for running it, and Crispy for running the particular course of fire. It was very good. Excellent stuff. And then we hung around. We did presentations. And somewhere around this point, I was starting to pack some stuff down, wrap some stuff up, get things, prizes ready, and all these sort of things. And at some point during the afternoon, I thought, well, we've got a day tomorrow. We don't fly out till 8 p.m. or something stupid. And I've got a bit of work to do. I've got to get invitations out for the finale and these sort of things. So I'm like, all right, I've got a bit of stuff I need to get done. But I'd already started like prepping things and getting stuff ready and put the scores in or anything. But I was starting to sort of lay stuff out. And I thought, we'd probably get away with, enjoying and relaxing a bit tomorrow. Public holiday back home, so we didn't have a crew back here we were trying to support. Thought, well, so I walked down to Josh and I'm like, hey, Josh, tomorrow, go-karts. What do you reckon?
Yes.
That was his response. That was also his response in Andy's voice, which was a bit creepy, but he does rub himself down with coffee from time to time. So, that's the least of things that I'm weirded out by. And then I think I mentioned it to you, Plushy, during the match or after the match?
I think it might have been after the match.
After the match, so that's right. I wanted to allow the shooters to do their shooting things. And I'm like, well, how about you boys, you're interested tomorrow in going go-karting? And wow, did I ignite some fire in some bellies, that particular comment. Because what I didn't realize, I knew that, so Josh spends all his day at work pretty much on an F1 simulator. And so that's what he does when he's not pressing record on podcast and then sort of, having a camera battery die or something.
Oh, I was meant to press record?
We'll find out if you did, if anyone listens to this one. And so I figured he was going to be all over this. I'm terrible driving. I hate driving. It's the worst. And so I figured I'm just going to putt around to the back, but I'll enjoy myself. It's good. It's good fun in general. What I didn't realize, although I should have, I knew Plushy was competitive in general. So I figured there was always going to be that. He actually can drive a go-kart all right.
Yeah.
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 Obviously. So anyway, I floated this idea and there was some keen. And then we got One Shot Scott, who we mentioned in the last one. He lives in Tassie now. So we're like, hey, do you want to come go-karting? He's like, yeah. Oh, good. And the real reason was that we've got a go-kart work event later in the year. And so we thought we would get some practice in. But so we found this place in Tassie, in Hobart, and it was electric karts. We have moved on from shooting. So if you're only interested in shooting, we're probably about done. But we found this electric go-kart in Tassie. I remember mentioning that to someone, and they're like, oh, no, I'm out. And I'm like, okay, no worries, man. We're just going to go and have some fun and just whatever. How good were the electric go-karts, Plushy?
They were way better than petrol
They
go-karts.
were very good.
They were phenomenally good. So
They were better than the petrol go-karts I've been on.
They were amazing, and just you put your foot down and boom, you go. It was rad.
Yeah.
So we've all trundled down on Saturday afternoon to this go-kart place because we figured we're here in Tassie, we may as well see all the sights. So we went to the go-kart place. And we walked in, checked in, done all the things. We've gone for a 3-thing race. Plushy, where was your head at this point in the, obviously huge. You could barely fit
Absolutely.
the door
I had to get the triple XL helmet.
after winning a match. Yeah, that's it.
That is a special helmet just for you.
That's right. And so there was 5 of us. There was the 3 of us. And there was One Shot Scott and then your mate Tim as well. Your mate. No, I say that because you were travelling. He's a mate of all of us, but you were travelling with him particularly. So Tim was with us as well. And
he was reluctant.
Was he?
Remember, he wanted to go to Mona.
He did want to go to the Wall of Vaginas.
Yeah, he did want to go see the Wall of Vaginas. He called us uncultured because we didn't want to go and see a Wall of Vaginas. You should look up. You should look up the Mona Museum if you're wondering what it's about.
Look at the modern something museum of something art, something or other.
Just search wall of vaginas and see what happens.
Yeah.
No, okay, no. And so he's like, "Oh, you guys are uncultured." I'm like, "Look who's talking, mate. You lead by example. We're going go-karting." And he's like, "All right."
Yeah. Oh, then we stopped at the shot tower on the way.
That's a good point.
We did tourist things.
We did a tourist thing.
It's amazing.
We were both in different parts of Tassie, so we thought we'd sort of connect at the same point. And I didn't know it was a shot tower. I found this tower on thing. I'm like, all right, cultured boy, let's go to some sort of tourist attraction. So we met at this tower thing. I'm like, I thought it was a lighthouse, honestly. By the thing, I'm just like, we'll meet there. There's a cafe there.
If you're watching in video form, there'll be some photos here.
Yeah.
Got some photos.
Ah,
Yeah, I did touristy things. It was amazing.
weird. And so we I got very distracted because Plushy came out of the toilet when we were there, and he's like, "I think Josh is having issues. I hope that's not where the photos are."
No, it's what I said was Josh has got blow by.
That's exactly what you said. Anyway, so we went to this shot tower and found out, like, we're like, "Oh, what was this place?" And they're like, "It was here for making shotguns." We're like, "That's pretty rad." So I bought some coffee. The cafe wasn't open, as far as we could tell. So we're like, all right, well, let's go to the pub and grab some food and then go
No, we
go-karting.
debated going to the top for a minute, but there was like 370 stairs, so we decided there was too many and left.
I remember looking at the view from the bottom, looking up at the top going, man, that view would be amazing.
Yeah.
Then just a little thing went, yeah, there's probably a lot of stairs in between that.
Yeah, but you're the fittest one of all of us.
Yeah, no, and I looked at that and went, no, very quickly.
Right. So we went did some cultured things, had a little look around. We did go for a bit of a drive and sat by Blackman's Beach.
Blackman's Bay or something? Yeah.
Blackman's Bay, and went to the pub there and had you guys very antisocially wouldn't talk to the waitress, and you ordered on the little app that you in the middle of the thing, and Scott and I talked to the lady and got ourselves some food, and it was good.
We had some great food, actually.
Yeah, that was good food.
Yeah, it
wasn't
was.
It was good food. So what was that place called? Black something or other? No, it was the beachfront. The beachfront.
There's not many cafes
Beach
down
house.
there.
Yeah, it was overlooking. Anyway, you'll find it. And so then we
There's a
went.
cafe on the beach. Should be fun.
Yeah.
We went off to Hyperdrive, not sponsored, and Hyperdrive, which is beatachap.com/impact to find the details. No, and we went and got in go-karts. Boys, we found out very quickly that not only is Plushy competitive, which we already knew, Josh is also very competitive.
Yes.
And very quickly we worked out that Josh and Plushy were going to go head-to-head on this go-kart race. And this go-kart has an indoor area, a raised area which you come down from, and an outdoor area, all sorts of straights and chicanes and stuff like that. And you guys got keen. Plushy, you did extremely well the first time around.
Yeah. Didn't even realise. We got down, we're like, oh, quick laps. And then, I think we were about 2 or 3 seconds quicker than these guys.
Yeah.
Oh, let's not
well,
get crazy. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Were we about half a second off in the first one?
You're also about 20 kilos lighter than
20, you reckon?
You are.
Up at who?
You to me, and Josh is a lot of that, about half.
Yeah, how much do you weigh, Josh?
This is what
65, 70 kilos now.
I put you at 40 kilos. Wow, 45, right? No, I mean,
75 ring and wet.
Lighter than me.
a lot lighter than you. I'm thoroughly impressed by that part of Plushy. Anyway, you guys were going head to head, and it was good fun. We went around and there was all sorts of shenanigans. I spun out and
There was
bits and
bumping.
pieces.
There was.
Well, we got to the
overtaking.
last race of the day, and you boys got an upgrade to the fancy carts.
I was about to say, I was going to jump in there.
Oh, okay.
Because-
Jump in, mate. Jump in with all your energy of your bloody 70 kilo sort of jobby.
But there's no energy there. But anyway,
Right, up the shot tower
after the
with you.
first race, I got out of the first race and went, oh, I need to up my game. Looked at the times
he
and
didn't-
went, oh,
'cause
okay,
Plushy
I'm going to
smashed
get
you.
a bit more ballsy in the next one. Yeah,
Yep.
he was half a second quicker than me. So I just
Half a second.
I gave him some tips about his driving style, and geez, did that not pay off for me next race?
Oh, no, it did not.
Because the next race, he smashed you.
Yeah, he did.
Didn't he? I think Scott smashed you in the next race.
I was useless next. My car was terrible.
Yeah.
To
blame
be
the
fair,
car.
you were about 3,000th of a second off Scott in the next one.
Yeah.
You
It was
were very
close.
That's right. And then we went into the third one, the final one, the one that counts. And you boys got upgraded into these flappy paddle.
We were quick enough that we got upgraded.
Yeah.
into these flappy paddle go-karts. And so it is on. It is
To be
on.
fair, that's quite a nice thing to walk out of your race and someone goes, oh, are you this person? You're like, yeah. And they're like, cool, you were that quick. You can go in the next cart. And you're like, oh, actually, yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then the competitiveness in me went, hang on a minute, I want to be in the fast car. And I was like, I looked at my times, I'm like, oh, I qualified in the first race. Can I use one? He's like, oh, you could have used one in the last race too. You're like, okay.
And then while we were all in the carts getting ready for this third race, there was a videographer there doing some filming, and Josh, of course, pipes up and is like, "You should use a 360 cam." Anyway, so we became friends with the video guy there. We walked into his like this little unassuming little room, little glass door. We walked past 10 times during the day. Walked in there. It's a podcast set with an amazing array of like old school game and all this stuff from the 90s. It looked absolutely fantastic.
It puts this setup to shame.
Oh, come on.
They've got like several Chesterfield couches.
They do.
Yeah.
We've got a gay tiger in the background. How many podcasts have a gay tiger in the background?
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
We'll do some Googling.
Please do. Get on it. And so anyway, we sort of got to know the media guys there as well, which was rad. So that was it. So if you go to Tassie, highly recommend Hyperdrive. We're not sponsored. We just
They were just good carts though. It was just good carts and a good track.
So we all joked and probably some serious level that Plushy was as competitive in terms of focus on the Monday as he was through the entire match. If that, maybe a little bit more.
Maybe.
Because there is footage that made it onto the Hyperdrive channel on TikTok of Plushy overtaking Josh.
There is. And yet he was still slower.
Well, you say that, but the only evidence shows that Plushy was quicker. So
I'm pretty sure I finished that race first.
So this might be the podcast I edit with results in it.
Yeah, you don't edit a podcast. You're not smart enough. Thanks, Sam. All right, very good. We have completely left there was a match on, I think, and Plushy did well, and we went go-karting, and it was fun. So Tassie, if you're listening, thanks for having us. Thanks for looking after us, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah, we will.
See you, Tassie.